Hello, my name is Julie. I am the creator of Treasures Made from Yarn, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make this kerchief. We're going to use a size G hook and some worsted weight yarn. We are going to start by chaining 4. Actually, I changed my mind. We're going to chain 5. We're going to form a ring. Slip stitch, form a ring. We're going to chain 2, which is not going to count at the beginning of the row. So we chain 2, and we're going to start. This will be the right side of the scarf. We're going to make a popcorn. And to make a popcorn, we're going to make 4 double crochets to start with. And that's our second double crochet. Obviously, to make a double crochet, yarn over. We're going to put our hook inside the ring, draw out the loop, yarn over, draw through 2 loops, yarn over again, and draw through the final loops. And then we do 1 more double crochet. Now to make the popcorn, take our hook out. We're going to leave our loop there. We're going to find our first double crochet, put our hook in it, then pick up the loop we had dropped, pull that through our first double crochet, and that makes our popcorn. We're going to chain 2. We're going to make another popcorn. So that is 4 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We took our hook out, and we're going to go back to the first of the group of 4. Put our hook in, then put our hook into the loop we had taken out and pull that through. Make another popcorn. We're going to chain 2, and now we're going to make our V-stitch will be like the middle of our scarf. To do that, we are going to make a double crochet, chain 2, and do another double crochet. Now we're doing all this in that ring. What we're going to do now is chain 2, make another popcorn, just 4 double crochets, pull the loop. Now we go back, we're going to make one, and then to finish up this row, we're going to do chain 2 and make 1 more popcorn.
Again, that's 4 double crochets. 2. 1, get 4.
Put our hook in the first one, pull up that hook and a popcorn, and that is the end of our first row. We have 2 popcorns, chain 2 space, popcorn, chain 2 space, our V-stitch, chain 2 space, popcorn, chain 2 space, and a popcorn. So we are going to start on our next row, which will be the wrong side of our little kerchief. chain 2, turn, which doesn't count. So in the chain 2 space after the popcorn, we're going to do like a little V-stitch. We're going to chain, we're going to do a double, we're going to do a double crochet, chain 2, and another double crochet in our chain 2 space. We are going to do another chain 2. We're going to go over this popcorn, and in the next chain 2 space we're going to do 1 double crochet. And we're going to chain 2, and we are back at our V-stitch from the previous row. What we're going to do now is put a double crochet in this double crochet, and then in the chain 2 space we're going to do another V-stitch, which is a double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet, and then we're going to do a double crochet in the next double crochet. Chain 2, and we're going to put a double crochet in this chain 2 space, chain 2, and in this final chain 2 space row we're going to do another V-stitch, which is a double crochet, chain 2, and a double crochet, and that ends this row. We're going to chain 2 and turn, and we are back on our right side. Okay, so to start this row, in this first double crochet of this V-stitch from the previous row, we're going to make our popcorn. So we're going to do 4 double crochets into this, into top of this double crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to take out our hook, go back to the first one, put a hook in, and pull our loop. We're going to chain 2, and then we are going to do a double crochet in this chain 2 space, chain 1, and a double crochet, and then a chain 2 space, and we're going to chain 2, and then in this double crochet we're going to make our cluster, or another popcorn. So it's 4 double crochets, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Put it back in the first one, pull the loop, chain 2. Now we're back to the center section. After we chain 2, we are going to put a double crochet in each of the next 2 double crochets. Do a V-stitch in the chain 2 space. Which is 1 double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and then we're going to do 1 double crochet in each of the double crochet from the previous row. Chain 2, and then we are going to put a popcorn in top of this double crochet. So that's 4 double crochets. Back, put our hook in, pull out this loop. Chain 2. We put a double crochet in this chain 2 space. Chain 1. Put a double crochet. Chain 2 space, chain 2, and we're going to put, now we're toward the end of a row, we're going to put a popcorn in this last double crochet of the row. Four. Probably wanted our hook out anyway. There, I'm not sure if you can see what's going on, but that is the end of that row. Now we're going to start on a wrong side row. Okay, we're going to chain 2, turn. Now I'll probably just show you how this is going to keep repeating here on out. So on our wrong side row, in the first chain 2 space after the popcorn from the previous row, we are going to put in our V-stitch, which is a double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet. We're going to chain 1 and put double crochets in the chain 1 spaces. So we're going to chain 1, double crochet in this chain 1 space, chain 1, and double crochet in the chain 1 space. You do that until you get to the chain 1 space just before the popcorn, which is in this case, this was the final chain 1 space in front of the popcorn from the previous row. From there, once we get there, we're going to chain 2, and then go into the next chain 2 space on the other side of the popcorn. Then we're going to do a double crochet, because that's when we do the next row, that's we're going to show that's where the popcorn's going to go. And then we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to do double crochets into each double crochet until we reach our chain 2 space. And then in the chain 2 space, we're going to do a double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet, and then do 1 to each of the next along the other side. In each double, do a double crochet in each double crochet, till we reach our chain 2 space here, and then you're going to chain 2, do a double crochet, which should be just before the popcorn from the previous row. We're going to chain 2, then we're going to put a double crochet in this chain 2 space, I needed more yarn, chain 1, do a double crochet in the chain 1 space, chain 1, then you do that until you reach, and then when we reached our final chain 2 space before a cluster at the end, we're going to do another V-stitch, which is a double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet. And then that's the end of this row, and we're chain 2, and we're going to turn. So this is going to also be a repeat of the right side row. So for all the right side rows, what we're going to do is in the first double crochet after we chain 2 is to make our popcorn. And then obviously we're going to go back. The first one. Then after we make any popcorn, we chain 2. We chain 2. And then we're going to find our chain 2 space. And do a double crochet. Chain 1. Do chain 1 and a double crochet in the chain 1 spaces. Till we've reached, and that's our last chain 1 till we reach, till we just before into the chain 2 space. We're going to actually do another double crochet, because we have reached a double crochet right after this that fell after the popcorn. So we're gonna make a popcorn in this one. Okay, after we make double crochet, we're gonna chain 2. Make a popcorn in that stitch. Double 1. 2. 4. Put a hook in the first one. We're chain 2, which we chain 2 before and after each popcorn. Then we're going to do a double crochet in each of the double crochets. Or until we reached our chain 2 space. Then we're going to do our V-stitch in that one in the center, which is a double crochet, chain 2, and a double crochet, and we're going to do 1, do double crochet in each double crochet, and we're going to chain 2 because we're at the end. Then in this stitch we're going to do a popcorn. This double crochet, I'll put a pin. Chain 2, and then we're going to do double crochet, chain 2 space, chain 1, do a double crochet in chain 1 space, and then we're about ready to reach our V-stitch here from the previous row. Chain 1, and then do a we're not doing a V-stitch. Chain 1, do a double crochet, chain 2, and popcorn. And our last double crochet. And we have the end of that row. So now if you can see, I kind of got this, I don't know if it's a chevron or a tree. This is going to get more of a arrow, triangle, whatever you want to call it. And then you're going to be bordered by the popcorn. And then you got this kind of this net portion. And then you're going to have popcorns on the outside. So pretty much we're going to repeat that last 2 rows until you have about 17 double crochet. So I will meet up with you when this is bigger. Okay, so I'm at a point where I got my headscarf to be as long as I want. So if you notice how the scarf was made up, we have a section of clusters, and we have obviously double crochets in that look like this, that are kind of in a net form, and then we have a cluster, and then we have this, I don't know what to call it, like a kite that looks like a kite, or a V section, which is not in a net form. So I made it so that there is 16 double crochets, but you can make it a little shorter or bigger. Just remember that you want to finish up. We just finished up on the wrong side row. So now I'm going to start making the ties for this. So to start the ties, I am going to chain 51. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now if you find that 50 is not going to be long enough for you, or if you want shorter ties, you can adjust this chain as you want it. Okay, so I got about 51, or whatever length you would like your ties. So all I'm going to do next is just to do slip stitches along the chain. Now that I've done all my slip stitch in my ties, I'm going to proceed like before. So I'm going to make a cluster or a popcorn in this first one, which is 4 double crochets. Okay, our hook back. Okay, two, and do like we have done before, as in there's work our double crochets in our chain 1 space. Chain into the chain 1, just always up as chain 1, double crochet in the chain 1 space before until okay, this will be the last one until we reach this one. Okay, we have reached the end. After we were about to ready, this is the double crochet that we're going to do the cluster on. So we chain 2, do our little popcorn or cluster. Okay. just did our cluster. All right. So on this part of the scarf, we're going to do clusters all along this part of the scarf that we're going to decorate with clusters. Okay, we did our cluster, we chained 2. We're going to do our double. We're going to do a double crochet in the first one. And in the next one, we're going to do our popcorn or cluster. We'll go back 4, which is right there. Then in the next stitch, we're going to do a normal double crochet. Next one, we do our popcorn. Make our cluster. Next one, we do normal double crochet. Next one. Is the cluster. Make our cluster. Next one's and I'm going to do that until we reach our tip. Okay, I've got my clusters done. I'm at the cluster before my chain 2 space from the last V-stitch. So in this chain 2 space, we're going to do a double crochet, a cluster, or popcorn, and a double crochet. So that'd be a double crochet. Do another popcorn. Oh, 4, I need yarn. Make our cluster. And do another double crochet in that chain 2 space. So we have a DC, a double crochet, a popcorn or cluster, and a double crochet in that in that chain 2 space. And now to work along the other side, this first double crochet, you are going to make another cluster or popcorn. next one, it is a double crochet. And like before, the next one is going to be a popcorn stitch or cluster, whatever you want to call this. 2, 3 and 4. And a double crochet in the next one, and you're going to proceed along this other side until you get to the double crochet before the chain 2 space that you should end in a double crochet. Okay, I have finished the other side and I have ended on a double crochet, and I'm about to do the double crochet that normally has a cluster. So what we're going to do is chain 2 and do your cluster. On this one, and this part we're going to finish up this section of the scarf just like before. Cluster, chain 2, double crochet in this chain 2 space, chain 1, and do double crochets in chain 1 spaces. So I was a double crochet, chain 1. This is just like before. And we're going to do that till we get down to the V-stitch, and we do what we're going to do when we get to the end, do the cluster on that one, and then we're going to show you how to do the ties on this other side. Okay, so I had finished up this side like before, like all the previous rows, and I ended on the cluster like before, and what I'm going to do now is like the other side, chain 51. Okay, this is 30. Right, there should be 50. Oh, I need 51. And then we're just going to slip stitch to each chain, just like the other side. Just like the other tie. So I will show you when I get back to the end how we finish it up. I've gotten to the end of my ties. Oh, I had already cut off my yarn, so pretty much I'm going to finish off here. Now with my yarn needle, I will finish off this end. Well, we just tuck it in behind, secure it behind this last cluster on the wrong side. So I go up my tie a little bit. That would be it. Our scarf, our head scarf is finished. If you like this video, please like, comment if you want to see more content like this. I also have other videos that are either cat or food related. If you'd like to see more of those, mention that in the comments. Otherwise, please thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.